this next example, I'm going to be demonstrating a foreign key constraint in a many-to-many relationship. In our previous tutorial, you saw how customers had a one-to-many relationship with purchases because each customer had many purchases, could have many purchases. In this example, what we are going to do is we're going to add a subscriptions table where customers can subscribe to newsletters, email newsletters, or paper mailings, and sale alerts. So we'll add a couple, and what you have to do is we add a subscriptions table which contains all the different subscriptions, and then we add a table that sits in between the two. It's known as a composite or intersection table, which will contain an ID of the customer and the subscription so that each customer can have multiple subscriptions, and multiple customers can have the same subscriptions, whereas in purchases, when with the one-to-many relationship, like one customer can make a purchase but no other customer can make that same purchase. That purchase is unique to one customer only. So let's dive in and let's go add our subscription table. So so make that our primary key, add our identity, auto incrementer, and then let's call this name, and that cannot be null either, so we're going to go and save this and call this subscriptions, and I'm going to go and refresh this, and let me go and add some data to the subscription table first before we build the intersection table. So what did we say? Email newsletters, and then we'll just call it post mailers, and then specials. Monthly specials. And you can see our auto increment is working well. It's started at 1 and incremented to 2 and then 3. So we do not have to provide these values when we add. So we have our subscription table, we have a customer table. Now we need to add an intersection table that will join them together so that each customer can subscribe to multiple subscription. And so what this table will have is it will have a customer ID of int and not null, and it will also have a subscription ID of type int. In reality, this is all we need to make the intersection happen. So let me go and save this, and I will call this customer subscription intersection, and go OK. And one thing I forgot to do, the combination of customer ID and subscription ID together make the primary key. So we can highlight them both and select them as the ID, and I'm going to have to save that again. And now, in both of these cases, both of these IDs on the let me refresh this, on our customer subscription intersection table, both of these columns are foreign keys. Customer ID is a foreign key because it's the primary key of the customer table, and subscription ID is a foreign key and is the primary key of the subscriptions table. So let's go ahead and add both of these foreign keys to this table. Just as we did before, we go to tables and column specific, and the very first one we want to add is, let's go with customers. So we need the customer ID, and so there, customer ID to customer ID. We have that, and now we want to add another, and for this one it's for subscriptions, and we don't need the customer ID, so now it's just subscription ID paired up with subscription ID, and there we go. We have our two foreign keys set up now. We close, we can go and save these, and all is well and good. Now, currently there is no data in our customer subscription intersection table, but let's go ahead and add one. We know that from our customer table that customer 1000 exists. It's this dude, John Smith, and we have our subscriptions, one with an ID of 1, 2, and 3. So let's go and add our first customer, John, to a couple of subscriptions. Let's go add him to the email newsletters and the monthly specials. Yeah, he's not interested in any mail in the post because he'll just throw it away. So customer ID 1000 to subscription 1, and customer ID 1000 to subscription 3. So now the relationship is set up, and as shown before, referential integrity is still there because we set up our foreign key constraints, and you cannot add a row that doesn't have a valid customer ID or subscription ID. And actually I'll demonstrate the subscription too, so we'll try and add a 4, and you'll see that one also fails. So now the relationship is set up, and I will just write a quick query to show you how this looks. So if we go and we make sure that we're within our database and then we're not clicked on any others, we can go new query and right click, and we can use the design query editor, and this allows us to build SQL statements using a GUI, and it's very useful sometimes. So let's go add our customer, our subscription, and then our intersection table. And you will see that because our relationships are already set up, it recognizes that customer ID pairs with customer ID and subscription ID pairs. So now now we want to see, let's say we were writing a report and we want to see the first, last name, and country. Just first and last name. We want to see which customers and are subscribed, have subscriptions. So this should return all the customers that have any subscription. So let's go ahead and execute this, and you'll see there is our intersection. John Smith has subscriptions to email newsletters and monthly specials.